Sup guys, on our last episode of our garage makeover, we turned this essentially empty garage and not so empty work area into the glorious and semi-organized thing you see around me. But that's only about half my workspace, so we gotta go fix the rest of it today. Okay, so in our first garage remake episode, we fixed the garage, just kind of behind me through that door, and cleaned up this workshop space. So we got our seats now set up over here, and this is our big rack to have more parts and tools on it, and that's my workbench. You can see me measuring a center console out there because I'm gonna 3D print a new one. But we didn't do anything with my office, my couch shooting set, my motorcycle gear storage, or my simulator, which you guys probably saw in the flyby in the first episode, but we've basically not touched and they've gotten worse since then. So we'll take you on a quick tour around the area and then we'll start wherever we start. So we're in the entryway here. This goes out to the workshop behind me, and then the garage is over there. That's the stairs up to the main house area. That's the domain of the girlfriend. She doesn't like any of my nerd stuff going up there. And we walk in here and you see, first thing you see straight ahead of you is my desk. So this is actually my work desk. I do a lot of editing here. You can see this is where I shoot some of the 3D printing stuff, especially some of the intro stuff. Complete and utter mess. There's 3D printing parts and cameras all over the place in here, just boxes, monitors all offset. You can see I run a laptop here with 2 monitors up so I can have spreadsheets and whatever else up, except I don't have 2 stands yet. Working on that in a second. I'll show you where we're printing it. So this all needs to get organized and updated, and I'm not sure how much of that will show you except for some of the pieces we're printing here. Then as you go around, it's my bookshelf, mostly personal books, but there's some engineering textbooks down in here that I use from time to time. And this is one side of that couch shooting set that I use here. So we're gonna go put some stuff up on the wall here and start mounting our surround sound system around the house. House? This is not a house, this is a basement anyway. That's the nerd storage. This is the entertainment center. So most of the stuff's set up, bunch of gaming stuff. I game every once in a while. I am in fact a nerd. And then nerd storage, don't need to go hang out over there. One of the last places, and I think we're gonna start here today, is, don't need to look at dirty clothes. This is my simulator setup. So I can put the links down below if you want to see what's actually a part of this. But I got a 3 monitor, microphone set up here. And you can see I got a wheel and some controls for a driving sim, and I already have flight sim stuff set up. So this is kind of like my gaming chair, and we're gonna set it up. I might do some driving sims on this channel or just in general, just stream it for fun. So we need to get this set up for that, and then transfer that microphone that I currently have hanging up there over here, so I don't have to keep moving microphones back and forth. It's really annoying. So I have a second microphone that I can go put in that mount there, and I'll go mount that. And finally, we're gonna tackle this pretty early here, is my motorcycle gear storage area. So it's kind of shoved next to where I'm keeping the 3D printer right now. This is my Raise 3D Pro 2 Plus. It's currently printing another monitor stand, so that it, pretty much like that one, except I'm gonna make it multicolored. So it's printing another monitor stand right now. So I just started it. I had to mess with a few settings after the first one. So that's gonna print for another 45, 50 hours, something like that. And then over here is all of our motorcycle gear. So we got backpacks and helmets and boots and off-road protection and riding gear. And this is just a mess, and it's a nightmare to get through. I've got extra driving gloves and things like that. So we need to go sort this stuff out, and maybe we'll put my actual car driving gear in here too. So we need to go sort this stuff out too, and I've got some storage units out in the workshop area. But And I've also printed some various versions over here of and I've also printed some various versions over here of a motorcycle helmet mount for like a wall mount. It's still a work in progress, but I may make those available shortly somewhere somehow. But first, we're going to start with the most annoying wiring, but probably the easiest thing overall, because I don't have to wait for a 3D printer to make stuff or go out and buy stuff. We're going to start setting up this cockpit for actual streaming stuff. Come on! That wasn't too bad. We got our setup mostly where we want to. You can see our screens are actually on and up and running. Starting to check most of our systems out now again. Got our driving wheel set up where we like it for the most part, along with our pedals and everything. We hid some of the flight controls that were sitting right here. Hid those just down over here so they're out of the way when we're swinging stuff around, especially since we have a lot less room now with this wheel right here. And then, yeah, we got our new webcam up there and our new microphone mounted up, so it's all, you know, color coordinated and everything, which is sweet because color coordination is great. I do wish this was green because I have a minor razor addiction. I don't know if you noticed, but well, what can you do really? So we got our cockpit sorted out, which means the next things on our agenda is our motorcycle gear area, and that means I have to build some IKEA furniture. Hooray. Look, no one likes building IKEA stuff. At least let me drink a beer while I do it. Actually, I'm not gonna make you guys watch me build IKEA furniture. Nobody likes that. We'll just skip straight to the end here. Alright, so we skipped to the end here. It's a little bit later, as you can tell, because a new thing is printing here and it's not red. Well, not entirely red. I ran out of filament. We got our motorcycle area mostly set up now. So we got our IKEA stuff with a bunch of boxes in here. They're all sorted based on like gloves and trip equipment and armor and stuff I don't really want to deal with, and like my backpack and stuff I need to grab pretty much every time. So I kind of organized it so everything I need to grab is readily accessible in these first like 3-ish areas, except for my boots. So I have a couple pairs of boots sitting under there. And then everything else is stuff that I need to go access a little bit less often. And then now we just got to throw on our helmet mounts, which are done printing. So we'll go throw those on here real quick. And motorcycle area should be good. Okay, and we have it here, mostly. I'll probably mess around with which helmet goes where, but this is my normal be-all, end-all helmet. That's kind of like my spare backup helmet. That's a helmet that's a little too small, but it's nice and light, so if I ever do a track day or something like that. This is just a really cool, stylish helmet, shark thing. And then that one over there is my, my car helmet. And yeah, so it looks pretty good, actually. If I Go readjust some of this stuff here real quick. Maybe clean off all the stuff. Don't mind those holes. I didn't use a stud finder, which I would not suggest not doing. I don't know what that, something like that. Anyway, so this looks pretty good for us right now. I did want to, I'll give you a little bit closer look here on the mounts. Pull off a couple of these helmets, one sec. All right, so what we're looking at here is kind of 3 versions of the mounts. So if you take a look at them from the side, they're all designed pretty similar in that they have the straight part out here that's just supposed to catch the back of the helmet, kind of how this thing's sitting. And then it has a rounded section up here, and that's supposed to simulate your head, so it doesn't put indents in the padding in your helmet and stuff like that. So I've got a few different versions out here. This was actually the first one I printed, and you might be able to see here this end is kind of rough. That's because the print failed about halfway through, or pretty close to. This is not halfway through. Print failed, and I had a layer that just didn't want to adhere. I had a few print failures on this for this first couple setups, but that was because I induced some failure in it. I had improperly rewound the filament onto the roll, so it ended up pulling on the thing and it would stop feeding for a while and it would be bad. So this one is actually pretty close to the size of the final version that I've kind of settled on, or close to it. Then this is what that one's actually supposed to look like. You can see this one's longer. It's got another, like, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch over here, but it's roughly the same sort of size. And these all have 3 holes. I'm only using 1 because you really only need to use 1, but if you wanted to use 3, I did put 3 through holes for bolts here. And then this is kind of version 4 or something like that. So it's shorter. It's actually a little bit shorter than this one down here. But I also added some through holes, which makes it a lot easier to install rather than trying to like tilt your rather than taking this and taking like a screwdriver and tilting over top like that and getting weird angles. You can just run it through these through holes and it doesn't really affect the part. And this is kind of the cool stuff you can do with 3D printing that'd be a little bit harder to do with some other manufacturing methods. Is this whole part, except for these holes, could be molded pretty easily, but these through holes that make installation a lot easier are a little bit harder to mold. But in a print, it actually takes less time to print one of these with the through holes and everything else than it did even for this thing, which was failed. So this one took much longer to print than this one did, and this is a lot easier to install. So that's kind of the cool stuff you can do with 3D printing. Anyway, now we gotta go work on some of the other parts of this room. All right, so we're getting close here. I'll give you guys a walk around in a second. But our printer is done back here, printing our new monitor stand, so let's get that off real quick. Alright, and there she is. The mostly final desk configuration here. You got a couple stands, one multicolored, one red over here. And then I gotta do some organization here. That's some mail and some more mail and headphones and stuff that needs to fix up. But I'm not gonna do that on camera because we've seen enough of this sort of stuff. Let me give you the final walk around here, at least for a while. So let's give it a start from the walkthrough where we began our video today. As we're walking in, you can see our desk in its mostly final assembly condition. Laptop and a couple monitors. It's going to be a much more usable workspace than what it was previously. We take a look at our left, we see our big raised 3D printer and my kind of work shelf area. So that's all of my car related books and textbooks, including like a race car dynamics textbook in there. Computer stuff, this is all camera stuff and more computer parts and stuff up top. Look to our left, our motorcycle setup is now fully where it's going to be. So we've got all of our gear stowed away, our boots available here, our helmets hung up on our custom designed helmet hangers, and then all of our riding gear in the back with one set of dirt boots in the back there because they're big and they don't really fit anywhere else. As we come back along here, we have our shooting set mostly complete. Left the Yamaha manual out. You can see we've hung up the tail section. It's an old tail section for one of my motorcycles, an R6. You can read the writing kind of like right there. And then the old license plate off of our Mazda, our Project Doritos Locos RX-8. So I figured I'd start putting all the license plates and stuff of projects that we did up there. And then you can see we've mostly hung up. I did not hang up the projector yet for this wall, which is what's going to go display any screen stuff we want over here. But I have hung up our surround sound, which is all the way around here, there, and there. Yes, I know it's off center, but it doesn't really matter, and I just wanted to kind of get it up. And finally, we've got our sim cockpit here. So we've got our racing stuff set up currently. So I got our pedal set up and our wheel and everything, and we have our new microphone that's color matched because sometimes I like everything to be color matched, and our streaming camera there because we took the microphone that was there and put it right there, so now we have a dedicated microphone. I can go set up all the settings over there for like recording and things. Oh, and we hung this thing with some custom 3D printed brackets that are actually designed to work with those like Scotch pole wall things, because I expect to change this around a bunch. So we don't want to like keep drilling holes in the wall for mounting that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's our motorcycle gear, office, streaming setup, and shooting stage setup kind of update for our garage remake, whatever this thing's called, garage build. Probably garage build. For our garage build series. Don't expect any real updates on this for a while. It's in a pretty workable condition right now, and any updates will probably just be rolled in with whatever build video we're updating it for. And thanks for watching, everyone. This has been another Make It and Break It garage build episode. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing a lot more of our Project Ute 300C builds, as well as our RX-8. We're going to have to start working at that again because we only have a couple months to get it both running and track ready in some sort of real track form. As well as a quick motorcycle build log here soon, because I have about a month before I want to go take a motorcycle off-roading that really doesn't belong off-road. So that'll be hopefully a cool video series for everyone. So that's about it for this episode of the garage build. Upcoming, we still have our Project Ute build as we try and turn our Chrysler 300C into a Ute sort of vehicle, so I can take motorcycles to to the track or to a trail for dirt riding and stuff like that. We have our RX-8 Doritos Locos build. We're going to start up here hopefully soon because I only have a few months to get that thing track ready again, replace the motor, hopefully put in a roll cage and our new track seats and everything else, and then go run it again at the same track we ran the first time and see how much better it is. And we got some other longer and shorter builds coming down the pipeline, and these will be motorcycle related. Thanks for watching, everybody. My name's Andrew. This is the Make It and Break It YouTube channel, where we kind of live by the motto that I learned back at my old job, and it was, don't make it hard, make it up. Catch you guys later. Okay, so when we're showing our first, God, my hair looks so bad.